The history of dreadlocks is understandably complex. There is no specific origin of when dreadlocks began because different ethnic groups had the art of locking of hair. Some of these ethnicities are ancient Greece in 3600 BC, which shows that in Crete, birthplace of the Minoan civilization, and in Thera, modern-day Santorini, showing individuals with long braided hairstyles. The earliest written reference of locks is found in Vedic scriptures, holy Hindu texts dating back to 1500 BC, in which Lord Shiva's hair is referred to as jata, a Sanskrit word meaning twisted locks of hair. The Sadhus holy men embraced the practice of locking their hair as a reflection of their detachment from worldly desires. By renouncing conventional grooming, they sought to liberate their minds and attain spiritual enlightenment. Words in the Christian Bible about allowing locks of hair to grow without cutting have great importance to Rastafarians, followers of the Jamaican religious movement, and inspired their embrace of dreadlocks. The name dreadlocks comes in part from the idea of fear or dread of God. Locks became a symbol of unity, spiritual awareness, and resistance against oppression. Rastafarians believed that uncut hair formed a living testimony of one's commitment to their faith, and dreadlocks became a proud emblem of their African roots and defiance against societal norms. Ancient Egyptian mummies were found to have had dreadlocks wigs from 1400 BCE. They symbolized strength, power, and divine wisdom. Pharaoh and priests often wore locked hair, acknowledging the deep spirituality and mystical properties associated with this sacred style. The dreadlocks represented the pharaoh's connection to the gods, acting as a physical embodiment of their divine authority. With the passage of time, dreadlocks transcended religious and cultural boundaries and found there in the hearts and minds of people from all walks of life. Some individuals were drawn to the aesthetic beauty and uniqueness of this style, while others sought to connect with its historical and spiritual roots. Dreadlocks became a symbol of individuality, self-expression, and the celebration of diverse cultures intertwining. In East Africa, the Maasai people of Kenya and Tanzania have traditionally worn dreadlocks as symbol of their cultural identity, warrior status, and pride in their heritage. Their distinctive red-colored locks, formed using a mixture of clay and red ochre, are considered an essential aspect of their customs. Dreadlocks in Kenya are associated with Maasai and have a long-standing tradition of wearing them, which they call enkitonik in their Ma language. For the Maasai, dreadlocks are a significant aspect of their cultural identity and are associated with various symbolic meaning. The Maasai people considered their locks as a symbol of pride, beauty, and cultural preservation. The red coloration of their hair represents the red soils of their ancestral lands, and the hairstyle signifies warrior status and a deep connection with their traditions and heritage. With time, other cultures in Kenya have adopted dreadlocks from the Maasai. Dreadlocks have gained popularity among individuals from various ethnic groups across the country. During the 1950s, the Mau Mau revolted against British colonial rule, seeking independence and land rights. While the Mau Mau members did not necessarily have dreadlocks as a defining characteristic, some members did wear their hair in dreadlocks as a symbol of resistance and identity. For the Mau Mau, dreadlocks represented a rejection of European norms and reclamation of their African heritage. The hairstyle was seen as an assertion of pride in their African roots and a way to highlight their resistance against British imperialism. By wearing dreadlocks, Mau Mau members aimed to challenge and defy the cultural influence of the colonial powers. Dreadlocks among the Mau Mau carried a powerful symbolism related to African identity, resistance, and unity. The hairstyle signified both a rejection of colonial oppression and a celebration of African heritage, traditions, and culture. The reaction to wearing of dreadlocks can vary greatly depending on the society in question. In some cultures, dreadlocks may hold deep religious, spiritual, or cultural significance and be widely accepted and respected like the Rastafarians. However, in other societies, particularly those influenced by Western norms, there has been a history of negative reactions and discrimination towards individuals with locked hair. This has often been rooted in racism, cultural misunderstandings, or stereotypes associating dreadlocks with unkemptness or criminality. It's essential to note that attitudes towards locked hair have evolved over time nonetheless. Discrimination or negative reactions can still occur in certain settings or contexts, highlighting the ongoing challenges faced by individuals who choose to wear locked hair. There are several types of dreadlocks, each varying in the method used to create and maintain them. Some common types include traditional or free-form dreadlocks. These are formed by allowing the hair to naturally mat and lock over time without any specific manipulation or patterning. They tend to have a more organic, irregular appearance. Palm-rolled dreadlocks. This method involves rolling sections of hair between the palms to encourage them to lock together. It is commonly used for starting and maintaining dreadlocks. Twist and rip dreadlocks, also known as comb coils. This technique involves sectioning the hair and creating small twists with a comb, then ripping the twists apart. This method provides a defined, uniform look to the locks. Interlocked or retwist dreadlocks. This technique uses a tool to interlock the hair at the roots, helping to strengthen and maintain the lock structure. As for the benefits of having locks, they can vary from person to person, but some common cited advantages include low maintenance. Once the locks are established, they require minimal upkeep compared to other styles. This can save time and money on styling products and frequent visits to salons. Versatility. Dreadlocks can be styled in various ways, from updos and ponytails to braids and buns. This allows for individual creativity and self-expression. Hair protection. The interlocking nature of dreadlocks can protect the hair from external elements such as harsh weather or pollutants, which may reduce the likelihood of hair breakage or damage. Cultural expression. For many individuals, wearing dreadlocks can be a way to celebrate and express their cultural, spiritual, or personal identity. It can serve as a visual representation of one's values, beliefs, or heritage. Increased length retention. Dreadlocks can help retain hair length by minimizing exposure to constant styling and manipulation, which can lead to hair breakage. Ultimately, the decision to wear dreadlocks should be a personal choice based on individual preferences, beliefs, and goals.